On the download PDF sheet, you will find here a plan. You can cut it out, score along the dotted lines so you can fold there, and fold it all up to make a cardboard model prism. So carefully, and mind your fingers, and always keep your fingers behind any blades, cut out the shape of the prism. It's much easier to fold lines if you score them first. A biro is actually quite a good thing for that, a ballpoint pen, or I'm actually using a proper scoring tool. Then fold up all those little tabs. Then you can glue those tabs and start sticking the whole thing together. When you've put it all together, it should look something like this. Now look at the model prism carefully. See where the shadows lie. This is easier if you have a single light source. Now take your time. This is what observational drawing is all about. Looking, really understanding what it is that you are seeing, then taking your observations and putting them into the drawing. Now this is probably like a math lesson from school, but this prism, the end here is an equilateral triangle, which means that all three sides are exactly the same length and all three corners are exactly the same angle. And they all add up to 180 degrees. However, if you start tilting the triangle away, you'll find that these lengths here, which are the same as the length across the bottom, appear to get shorter and shorter and shorter until in fact they just disappear. This is a three-dimensional object, but we're trying to draw it in 2 dimensions. So we have to take account of this kind of disappearing and shortening thing that is going on here. Now you may have seen artists doing this, and in fact what they're doing is they're kind of getting angles and measuring things against each other. So if you held your hand at exactly the same distance, then you can measure with your thumb against the top of the pencil the length of objects that you are observing. So if we have our triangle, then I am going to measure, closing one eye, I'm going to measure this length here, which I know is the same as the other 3 sides. Now as I tilt this away, to me now this length here is half the length that I measured originally. In fact, it's about there now. So it's not really getting shorter, it just appears to be getting shorter. And you remember I said that 3-dimensional representation is about tricking the eye into thinking that what it's seeing is a 3-dimensional object. It's a representation on a 2-dimensional surface. And by working out all these angles and different shapes and lines, then we can make that 3-dimensional effect. You can use your prism model and give it good strong lighting from one side to really get to understand how it works. So we can draw a fairly equilateral triangle. I'm doing this by eye, and then turn it into a prism. Those will be parallel, these will be parallel. And that kind of looks like it's sitting on the floor. And we can draw another one over here and make this look like it's standing up on end. But what I'm going to do is not going to be an equilateral triangle. I'm going to do what I did like when I folded the thing down in front of you, so that, and then make these two come down here so that it's kind of standing on the floor. And I think when you kind of put some shading in there, and we probably want some shading round about there, we could have the edge of the table, as it were, kind of there, and you get the feeling that these are now two three-dimensional objects sitting on a table. And is there anything we can actually do with these objects? Well, there is. I mean, you can see these sort of shapes all over the place. So this could be a tent. And we could just kind of open the flaps like that. And then you're going to see the inside there as well. Maybe a little bit of shading. We want the guys, and probably got little pegs holding it in there. And what about this thing here? Well, this could be a gigantic slice of cake. How about that? It's a triple-decker slice of cake. And if we go like that, this will be all the lovely jam in the middle. And then we can go around. It's exactly the same shape. So a slice of cake is a prism when you look at it like that. So have a go at drawing these two versions of prisms, and as you go about your day, look at things and see where you can find prisms and triangles inside more complicated shapes. If you've got a sketchbook, even better, just do quick little sketches to remind yourself.